The mundane loop. So speaking of the mundane loop, I walking down a loop outside and thinking about how it's 4 p.m. and time's going to be real again for me, since I will have to be somewhere every day, 5 days a week, for just a little bit longer before I can exit stage left. And so why I bring that up is this concept of time is so interesting to me, because it just didn't seem real these 2 to 3 months. Gosh, California takes forever licensing. Oregon and Indiana were a couple days. So let me write a regulation, but so during that time, it's just, time stopped being as important. I don't have kids. That responsibility, I'm responsible for my kitty cats, and my girlfriend, but yeah, it's just something, this thought, I'm fleshing it out right now, actually. That's why I'm recording. Sometimes I just record to put my energy into the ether and try to formulate my thought. And that's time in general. What effect does it have on us? What effect does putting us the second hand, literally a second clock hand on every building that seem to have pressure gauges at the top? I think that's the best explanation to date on the old world architecture. There's besides the Prague astronomical clock. But so why is time important? Is time new since the 1800s? I don't know. What is it? When was time invented? Because it seems like a way to get us to think of our day in structured segments and almost get used to giving up a certain percentage or hours, right? I have to give up 8 hours of my freedom, my day, every day, starting in preschool, kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year at IU for business school, didn't pan out. 3 years at Ivy Tech, Valparaiso, 2 years at University of Indianapolis, and then 4 years getting my doctorate at Purdue. Think about all that time when you could just be an apprentice in a guild economy, right? But that's not the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make is just the whole concept of because I don't think I've got it out yet of really why I did this. The whole concept of time. What if it was gone and you were it's true freedom, right? True freedom is not having time and not having clocks. That notion, that's actually freedom. To go and travel and live and have free energy and give back and do something you're proud of your whole life, not for money. You think those buildings they built, those magnificent stained glass, you think that was for profit? Do you think they were trying to turn profits? No. You got to look at our cubes for that shit. They were building something over generations that would last. They were advancing knowledge together. But just that whole concept of time is really kind of put me for a loop here, because I think time's going to be real again for me, going back to work full time on Monday. This video I put together will probably be after Monday, but food for thought on that one. It's not totally fleshed out in my head, but there's something there. I know there is, with the same way they control energy, the same way they control the money. The time is important, I think. I think the time, and the same way they control the land, right, and the realm and where we're allowed to go. They control the education, the medicine, the food. They control a lot. The air we breathe now. But as this geoengineered sky in a town of 500 people I walk the mundane loop in right now is somewhat dimming the sun. It can't block it. I'm still getting it, and it's still better than being indoors. I hate that I have to breathe this in. My next step, I think, is to work up some protocols on how to test the water locally in different areas, and then do detox regimens for these heavy metals, barium, strontium, aluminum nanoparticles. So I know sometimes I can go to old world history, to working as an ICU nurse, to time, and that's really what my Substack is. It's sharing my thoughts, and somehow they typically all relate, right? Time, old world architecture, and an ICU nurse. Well, how does that relate? Well, because I was an ICU nurse, and normally in life I would just turn away, almost knowing how much of a lie other things are, but it wasn't something that had directly affected my ability in life, or what I did directly. And then with COVID and learning about ivermectin and stuff, then it was oh, there's something I can do, but I'm not allowed. The conspiracy stuff came to forefront in real life, and really that was a hard year for me, dealing with that reality. And my ex-wife at the time, super left, watched CNN, so I had to deal with all that. And knowing like everyone's like being fooled that I'm working with almost. There's only like literally a couple people in the hospital, I feel like, that were putting it together, and just a bunch of ants. So how does that relate to old world architecture? Well, I probably would be working in a guild economy if it weren't for the old world architecture and wouldn't even be a nurse. So, and then I got a doctorate of nursing and I'm an independent provider, and I like primary care because it allows me to, especially in rural areas, I can just see everybody and everything and be left alone to treat people how I want, and that's what I like. So because I just really I just code things as metabolic disorder and work on like the 5: nutrition, sunlight, activity, sleep, stress reduction, and really try to empower people. And I only would ever do medication a very short time. Because Western medicine is not the cure. It is the symptom solver, as we know. So I like to get to root cause. So but now that fact that being a nurse, have to go back to work as a nurse practitioner got me thinking of time. So somehow it all relates in my head. I don't know if any of that tracks. I'll see you guys later. Till the next time.